Can you get title insurance on a tax deed property? This is one insurance that's worth its weight in gold. One of the things I'm going to show you in this video is how title insurance can save your bacon, protect your assets. In this video, you'll understand what makes title insurable. Okay, what's the difference between clearing title and insuring the title? There's a big difference between the two. And in this video, I'm going to show you how that works. Why are certain deeds insurable and other ones are not? And quite simply, I'm going to show you how insurance on title can make or break a deal. Okay, so let's just start at the beginning. What is title insurance? Okay, title insurance is insuring somebody that this property that you're buying is exactly what they say it is. In other words, if I'm buying a property and I say I need some title, go make sure that guy owns it and there's no liens or encumbrances against the property. I also want you to ensure boundaries of the property. I want to make sure what I'm buying is what I'm getting. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you've never bought property outside the United States, I don't think you fully appreciate how powerful this is. I've owned properties in 5 different countries now, and this is super important. In the United States, pretty much there is no ambiguity on who owns the property and who doesn't because of title insurance. It's kind of a necessary evil. Are there mistakes? Well, that's what title insurance is for. So when I say, hey, Chicago Title, I want to buy this property and I'm going to pay you $1,000 to make sure that that property right there is owned by these 2 people. And when I buy the property, let's say I'm paying cash for the property, I want to make sure that I have that property and nobody is going to come from the past of these 2 people and say, hey, I was owed money and they never paid me. So what the title insurance company does, they will go in there and research that title and make sure that there's that infamous Aunt Sally isn't going to pop out of the woodwork somewhere and go, they owe me money. Or the next door neighbor saying, well, actually, 5 feet of this property is really mine. The previous owners put their fence on the wrong boundary marks on this. This is why title insurance is so important. I'm insuring the property I'm getting is the property that I'm getting. Nobody else is going to come up and make claim to that property. It's also good for the lenders. Okay, a lender is not going to lend money on a property that doesn't have title insurance on it. They also want to make sure that when they lend me money to buy that property, they are in first position lien on the property. So in other words, they're going, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Title Company, I want you to go ahead and look at this title, make sure there's nobody in the background that's going to come up. This is the property that's securing the loan that I'm giving these people, and nobody's going to come up and go, nope, 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 I've been here longer. Because as you remember, in other videos, if you've subscribed and if you haven't, hit the button down below. Look, if you got any questions, just hit them in there, okay? Just type them in there. I answer the questions. As you remember, liens are a function of time. Whoever records their lien against the property down at the county is the one that says, I'm in first position. So the title insurance is also saying, okay, not only nobody's on there, but Mr. Bank, when you lend money to these people, your position is going to be first. And let's say they had to take a second out at the same time they bought the property. Oh, and secondary banker, you're going to be in second slot. So he's insured, he's in first position, and they're insured that they're in second position, so everybody's good, okay? So here's the key. When I buy a property at a tax deed sale, I might not have clear title. Think of it like this. I might not have clear title. In other words, I want you to think about the process. The county is foreclosing on the property. So what they do is say, okay, part of the foreclosure process is to notify that everybody that's got a financial interest in the property. If nobody comes up to satisfy those delinquent taxes, now it goes to sale and you and I buy it. So we buy the property. Let's say it had 5 or 6 different liens that were wiped out because of my purchase. The county doesn't go in there down to their records and hire somebody to clean up the title on that. They've done their job. I want you to think about that. They're on a budget. It's your property. Now it's your job to clear title. So there's 2 different strategies here. I can call a title company like Tax Title Services, and I'll put that in the link down below. and say, I want you to insure the title. So even though that there's 4 or 5 different old liens that were wiped out, they're going to still show if I don't clean the title, but they'll go, no, we'll still insure it. Okay? In the process, now I want you to clean the title. So let's wipe all that stuff. Sometimes they call it unclouding the title, quick claim the title. There's all sorts of different terms there that they will do it. Every state's a little different. So there's 2 different functions. I will insure the title, that it's clear. Like these liens you're seeing on there are no longer valid. And I'll clean the title, which means I will scrub those off. So when somebody does, an untrained eye, looks at the title of that property, they go, yeah, this is clear. It's clean. It's very clean. In fact, tax deeds are such a clean way to get ownership of a property that in some auctions you'll go to, especially back east, where there's a whole history, hundreds of years on this property, you'll hear the county person say, please, nobody bid on this property. The owners are trying to clear title. They're just doing this for procedural measures. They will bring the property up for sale. They'll say sold to that person. Now that person can go do a judicial clearing of the title. These people have no more rights to it. They go in there and clean it up. And a title insurance company can now insure that title with clear conscience. Now, is it possible to get insurance on a title that's not cleaned up yet? Absolutely. It's kind of like this. Think of it. If I get car insurance, they're going to want to check my what? My driving record. If I have no tickets on it, I can go to anybody. I can go shop around all I want because I can have the pick. My driving record's good. But if I had a bunch of speeding tickets and all this stuff in there, I can still get insurance, but there are going to be fewer companies that are going to do it, and they're going to charge me a lot of money. So listen, when you get a tax deed, clean the title. Don't just insure it, although that's not a bad start, but you have to do it. This is worth its weight in gold. And besides that, that kind of stamps this. Now we're going to clean the title up. I own this property. None of those people can ever come back. And Chicago title, first title of America, they'll all be more than happy to insure it. Super duper important. This is a critical step that a lot of people make. Look, don't make mistakes. There are a lot of mistakes you can run into out there, and I don't want you making them. So with that being said, hire a law firm. Hire a title company that knows how to do it. Because in all reality, you would have to find somebody out there that's been trained by me that understands that this stuff doesn't really matter. It's going to make it near to impossible to sell the property until you've cleaned the title up. This is why you hear people saying, uncloud the title. It's a cloudy day. I want to get rid of the clouds. I want to see forever. And I know what you're saying right now. You're saying, oh my gosh, there's a lot here. Yes, this is not difficult, but it's not simple either. We've got all sorts of little tricks to the trade. Look, I've been doing this for 30 years. 30 years. Okay, not 3 months, but 30 years. And I've got a brand new training video that'll literally walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes people make, the research you want to start. Do you need money? Look, I know there's a lot out there. Okay, anything that requires, that's going to make you money is going to require some work. It's not difficult. You just need to know what the steps are. That's why I've just put together probably one of my best trainings ever. This is stuff that I can't really I don't have the time to talk about here. This goes from I'm a beginning investor or I'm a seasoned investor to let's make some money. Just go to HigginsMethod.com. HigginsMethod.com. I've got a brand new video that I'm super proud of. Be careful out there.